Stay with us for Water Rats coming up at 11 o'clock. Now though, time for an update on all the day's events and stories in News 2.
Hello, I'm Sharon Bheoláin. You're watching News 2. Tonight on the programme, is the Theatre of Dreams about to turn into a nightmare for fans?
I think he's probably the wrong man to buy the club. He's money incentive, he's no love for the club at all. He's just buying over pure greed.
Manchester United fans plan a mass protest on Wednesday against media mogul Rupert Murdoch's bid for Britain's most glamorous soccer club. Fans will give a hostile reaction to the £575 million offer from Murdoch's Sky B for the Old Trafford club when it takes on Charlton in 2 days' time. Shares in the club soared today after the takeover bid was confirmed. Tonight, amid concerns that Mr Murdoch already controls a big part of live football, British Trade and Industry Secretary Peter Mandelson said the proposed deal with Manchester United would be investigated by the Competition Authority.
This is Rupert Murdoch, the Australian media magnate who now has his sights set on Manchester United. The bid is being made through his TV company, Sky B, which already controls TV rights to the Premiership in Britain. The bid is worth more than £500 million. The club makes £88 million a year. 28 million of that is profit. There's concern in Britain that if Sky succeeds, then one of the companies that will bid for TV rights again in 2 years' time will have a vote on which company gets those rights. Tonight, Irish United fans met in Dublin to book tickets for the club's fixtures. So, what do they think of the potential Sky buyout?
If a company as big as Murdoch takes over, certainly there'll be more money floating in the club, so there'll be better facilities, probably a bigger stadium on the existing site anyway, and they'll be able to pull in the bigger players from around Europe.
On a personal level, I'd rather it wasn't, so the club is doing very well at the moment, and I don't see a need for Murdoch to get his hands in.
The only thing is that I hope that it doesn't affect the ordinary fan. I mean, they're literally they're the ones that have the passion, you know.
I hope I'm wrong, but I can't see him doing anything for the fans at all. If he sinks in 570 million, he's going to look for his money back. Where's he going to get it? Only through the fans.
Later I caught up with George Byrne, commentator and Chelsea fan, who gave me his reaction to the news.
It goes a bit beyond it. It's not just... See, because what people don't forget is that Murdoch has huge interests in satellite television in Asia with Star TV, which is based in Hong Kong. So China is just about to open up to football in a big way. So there's huge interest in football in what is largely an untapped market. And it makes perfect sense that, like, unfortunately, much as it grieves me to say it, Man United are probably the biggest club name in world football. So it makes perfect sense for him. And if you look down at the figures, potentially he's getting a bargain.
Well, the TV rights to the Premiership are coming up again for renewal in 2 years' time. Is that what this is all about?
I don't really have a problem with pay-per-view. I believe it was inevitable. I don't believe you have any right to expect football for free. People tend to forget that 10, 15 years ago, you were lucky if you got about 10 to 20 games a year. You got the cup final, a couple of internationals, and the odd league game. I don't believe they're going to charge for every club. Like, I mean, I can't imagine there aren't enough masochists in the world who'd want to watch Wimbledon playing Coventry on a Tuesday night, but I'm sure there are some, you know, wherever you get your kicks.
We've seen Manchester United fans criticising this potential buyout during the day. What do you think of that?
I find that incredibly amusing that Man United fans should be given out about this. Since the beginning of this decade, that club sold its soul. And they've been continually crowing at non-Man United fans about, oh, we've got our theatre of dreams, we've got our superstar, we've won this and we've won that. And they don't seem to realise that, you know, they entered into a pact with the commercial devil, and it's payback time.
Bishop Eamon Casey, who rocked the Catholic Church almost 6 years ago with news that he had fathered a son, is said to have retired. There had been speculation that he was looking for a job in Ireland or England, but the former Bishop of Galway has said he's now living with relations in England and that he needs time to himself. For News 2, Deirdre McCarthy.
For 23 years he served as Bishop of Kerry and Galway, before retiring in 1992 after it emerged he had fathered a son. He went to South America and worked for 5 years with the missionaries in Ecuador. He moved to London last month. A leading Irish bishop tried to secure a post for him in England, despite comments by Westminster's Cardinal Basil Hume that it would be inappropriate for him to work in the diocese. The former Bishop of Galway issued an 8-line statement today through the Catholic Press and Information Office here. In it he said he would not be seeking any public pastoral ministry in the church in Ireland, England or elsewhere. He does not intend to give interviews and asks that his privacy be respected. That same wish was shared by many in Galway tonight.
I think what has been decided, I think, is probably the right thing.
Honestly, I don't think it's really fair. Anyways, he's getting too much a hard time. It's his own business, like.
It's unclear whether or not Bishop Casey will ever live in Ireland again. In his statement, he would only say that he's now living in England with relatives and needs some time to himself.
2 people were killed tonight in a collision on the Galway to Gort road at the village of Kilcolgan, about 15 miles from Galway city. The accident, which involved 2 vehicles, a car and a jeep, happened just after 7:10 at the turnoff for Kinvara. A fleet of ambulances and fire service personnel with cutting equipment were rushed to the scene. Both vehicles were extensively damaged in the head-on crash. The bodies of the 2 people who died have been taken to University College Hospital in Galway. Now it's some of the day's other news in brief. Here's Joyce Jackson.
The search for a new political settlement in the north took another important step today when David Trimble and Gerry Adams sat down with other party leaders to plan the future of the Assembly. The 2 men are due to have a private meeting within days. The Taoiseach has warned that up to 800 jobs are at risk at the Fruit of the Loom plants in County Donegal. Mary Harney, who visited some of the company's factories today, said her aim was to minimise the number of redundancies. Striking lift engineers have rejected a Labour court recommendation aimed at resolving the dispute, now in its 3rd month. A spokesperson for the Technical Engineering Electrical Union has criticised one of the companies involved in the dispute for writing to its members before the ballot. A new waste disposal system for hospitals is due to start next year. It will involve recycling healthcare waste, including syringes and bandages. The treatment facility will be the first of several to be built here and in the north.
Now it's over to Peter Leonard, who has all today's sports news.
Well, a very good evening to you. And of course, the big story of the day is the future of Manchester United Football Club. Well, today it emerged that the club's manager, Alex Ferguson, knew nothing about Rupert Murdoch's bid to buy the club. And commenting earlier, Ferguson acknowledged that the proposed deal has not gone down well with the fans. Alex Ferguson, the man who has guided Manchester United to 4 Premiership titles in the 1990s, today said that news of Rupert Murdoch's bid to take over the club had taken him by surprise. As the players arrived back at Old Trafford after the weekend's international action, Ferguson claimed that he was kept in the dark about the proposed deal with B-Sky-B. And with his team trying to regain the Premiership title from Arsenal and compete successfully in this season's Champions League, the United boss will be determined that commercial wrangling over the future of Manchester United plc will not affect his players' performances on the field. The fact that Ferguson was not privy to these discussions is likely to further increase discontent among the Red Devils' legion of loyal fans. And on the domestic front, the first of the League Cup quarter-finals took place between Bohemians and Shamrock Rovers at Dalymount Park this evening, and Shamrock Rovers won 1-0 to go through to the semi-final. Well, still with soccer, and despite the Republic of Ireland's victory over Croatia in the opening European qualifier, we are not at the top of the group. That honour goes to Macedonia, who thrashed Malta 4-0 at home in Skopje. The first goal resulted from a free on 20 minutes when the ball found its way to the boot of Risto Bozinov. He powered it to the back of the net for the home side. It was Bozinov who made it 2-0 18 minutes later. The Maltese goalkeeper wasn't having any luck, as substitute Atram Sakiri brought the score to 3-0 after the break. And 10 minutes from the end, he scored again to add to Malta's woes and put his side top of Group 8. And on the international front, Bertie Vogts, who was in charge of Germany during the World Cup, has stepped down from his position as coach today. Vogts, who has been under fire since Germany's 3-0 defeat by Croatia in the quarter-finals of the World Cup, had been in charge of the national side since 1990. The 51-year-old was part of the German team that won the World Cup in 1974. Well, in motorsport, there is yet another driver on the move. Today it was announced that British driver Johnny Herbert will move to the Stewart Formula 1 team next season. 34-year-old Herbert, who is currently driving Sir Sauber, has agreed a 2-year contract with Jackie Stewart's team. His career highlights to date include victories in the British and Italian Grand Prix when he partnered Michael Schumacher at Benetton in 1995. And that's Monday's sport on News 2.
Now we'll take a look at some of the main international news stories tonight. Russia's lower house of parliament has defied President Boris Yeltsin for the second time and rejected Viktor Chernomyrdin as prime minister. Mr Yeltsin has said he will resubmit Mr Chernomyrdin's name a third time. If the nomination is rejected again, the president will be forced to dissolve parliament and call an election. Around 300 Chinese dissidents have urged UN Human Rights Commissioner Mary Robinson to visit forced labour camps during her 8-day visit to the country. They've also asked for a meeting with her. Mrs Robinson will visit Tibet later on this week. Canadian Navy divers have found one of the 2 flight recorders of the Swiss airplane that crashed off the coast of Nova Scotia last week. 3 sections of the fuselage have also been recovered, and investigators expect the cockpit voice recorder will be located soon. 229 people died in the crash. In Devon, Coast Guard and rescue services have been praised for their brave efforts in saving 4 people trapped in a cave at the base of cliffs in appalling weather conditions. The 4 were an 11-year-old boy, his father, and the 2 lifeboat men who'd got into difficulties trying to rescue them earlier. And that's News 2 this Monday. From me and from all the team, good night and take care.
It's going to be mild and breezy overnight with heavy showers, but these dying out from the south later. The lowest temperatures ranging 12 to 14 degrees. For tomorrow, well, it's going to be a bright start. There'll be sunny spells and just scattered showers. But a band of heavy showers getting into the southwest during the late morning. They'll become widespread through the afternoon. Some of these turning out to be heavy and prolonged and possibly thundery. Mild and breezy, top temperatures 18 to about 20 degrees.
Call and see who's up first.
We go down under for police drama in water rats after the break.
A world without discussion would be a pretty bleak place. But luckily for you, it's back. Tuesdays, John Kelly with the latest on popular culture. Provocative and intimate conversation with Claire McKeown on Wednesdays. And in-depth political debate with Dunlop and Finlay on Thursdays. You heard it here first. 3 shows, 3 nights, 1 name. Later on too, back Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays on Network 2.